Okay, now we want to do our corrections. These number 2 up here. If I look at my image here, I just want to correct these 3 things, which are these, this one, and this one right here. So again, I'm going to minimize this one. I don't need that in my way right now. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to actually start, first of all, make a duplicate of this layer. So I'm going to right click on that layer, duplicate layer, say OK. I'm going to work on this layer here. That way if I do make a mistake, I can simply trash this layer and start over again. Again, you want to be zoomed in when working with these tools. You don't want to be working with a small image on your screen. So zoom in as much as possible. I'm going to choose, first of all, use the, over here in the toolbox, use the healing brush, the regular healing brush tool. I'm going to attempt to fix up this image, right, this spot right here. The healing brush works by, if I hold the Alt key down, you'll notice my circle turns into a target. Okay, I click once, I had to click there, that became my sample point. It's going to take pixels from this area and transfer them over here, replace them here. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. I'm going to hold my left button down, drag down like this, and it replaced them. The healing brush works very well because it maintains the original texture. Okay, I'm going to try the same thing over here. I'm going to try and replace this here. I'm going to sample here, sample about here, click once to sample, hold your tool over this, and drag down, and looks pretty good. I see a little bit of a line right here. I'm going to just go back to my healing brush here once again, and I'm going to actually just take a sample there and just click once here, and it's gone, and that looks pretty good. So well, I got a little spot right here, a little darker spot, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to sample here, click once, maybe click once more here, and now I've got it satisfactorily. Okay, moving over here, I could use the same thing here. I'm going to use the healing brush again with the Alt key to sample here. I'm going to go over here, drag down like that, fixes it. I'm going to try the same thing here. And I'll see there the healing brush didn't work quite as well because it actually picked up, the healing brush blends from surrounding areas. It picked up some of this here. So here's the case where I'm going to get, when you get close to some other area, I'm going to go switch to the clone stamp. I'm going to set the opacity, if you're doing facial retouching like I'm here, set the opacity down to about 20%, or 15 to 20%. Make my brush a little bigger with the right square bracket key. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sample here. Again, sample point. Okay, click there. Make sure up in the option bar aligned is unchecked. Make sure that's not checked. Now I'm just going to start clicking. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to drag my mouse. I'm just clicking. You see where your sample point is staying? It's taking that tone and transferring it to this. Now I'm going to sample over here. So I come from both sides and bring it in like this. I'm going to sample down here, bring some in from the bottom. I'm going to sample here to finish up this side. Sample there to do like this. I'm going to sample here to do like that. Like that. So you got areas where you're going to be close to different tones. You need to use the healing brush probably to fix those things up. Moving over to this thing here, this should be a fairly easy one to fix. And actually I'm going to use a different tool. I'm going to use the spot healing brush. And make the brush a little bit smaller, about like that. The reason the spot healing brush might work good here is because all the surrounding area is very similar, very much in the same tonal range. So if I use the spot healing brush, and hopefully it'll work for me, just center it like that, click once, and it's gone. Real quick fix on that one. And so that's a good way to use the clone stamp, healing brush, and spot healing brush to fix blemishes. And some of the other ones I'll have you fix yourself. I'm not going to go through all of these.